Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Andrew DeVito, the undefeated prospect. Hello, Andrew. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. And you are quite a young fighter. So if you can tell me how you started your journey with MMA, like did you have any other kind of background before going to MMA gym?
Yeah, so I started 2.5 years ago when I was 13, and I had no background in combat sports really. I started with jiu-jitsu, and then I kind of worked into more kickboxing and then tournaments. Then when I was 14, I had my first youth MMA fight, but I just started kind of for self-defense in a way. But then I kind of liked the sport as a whole, so then I started competing, and so I love it. I want to keep doing it, so that's how I kind of started.
Did you like it from the start, or like from the first training?
Yeah, so before I started training, I didn't really want to. My parents kind of forced it on me, but then I eventually went, and from like day one, I loved it. I knew this is what I wanted to do. Once I stepped on the mat, like I knew from there I wanted to compete, and so now I'm still doing it. But yeah.
And for now, because I have a chance to watch a few of your fights, so
Mm.
what is the like favorite part of the training right now for you?
Right now, my favorite part of the training camp, I mean, I like evolving my game a lot. I always start as a grappler. But I've been adding more conditioning and more striking into my game. I feel like I'm getting really well rounded, but I'm really enjoying the sparring aspect. I'm on the fight team, so with like the pro MMA guys, so just doing full MMA sparring, actually getting the feel of what it's like with such high level strikers. Like training with Cody Linne, Ben Rothwell. It's a great experience, and it really helps my fight camps as a whole.
So probably the training with this kind of level of the fighters is like allow you to grow really fast.
100%. Like their knowledge that they give me, it's definitely putting me up there and making me grow super fast. And I haven't been training that long.
And for now, do you like? Are you sure that this is a like path that you would like to take? That you want to be like pro MMA fighter and go in this direction?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know for sure what the future holds, but that's the game plan. Obviously, I'm gonna keep training, keep fighting. I want to get to 10-0 before I go amateur. Then my record will reset. But yeah, like UFC, that's the game plan. Ultimate goal, UFC or big organization. But I want to do this the rest of my life for sure.
And you mentioned training with Cody Linne, and actually I'm really a big fan of his talent. I think that he's one of the best flyweights outside of the UFC. And how great is to have this kind of the training partner or even like the mentor because he's older than you. So how great is to have this kind of person next to you?
No, it's awesome. It's really nice being someone that high level. Like I do a lot with him. Like my private lessons are always with him. He coaches me in all the group classes. Over summer, like I go work out with him. So like I do my lifts with him, and he's a great mentor. He's a great at guiding me with like not outside the gym too, like knowledge and just everything like that. But I kind of try to do everything he does. Like he's a great role model he teaches me nutrition, weight cutting, lifting, technique, training. So having someone that high level in my corner to guide me, I'm like, it's a great feeling. And just having him like as a training partner and a coach it's great. He's one of the top in the country.
Yes, definitely. And also, like Ben Rothwell is also kind of the legend of the sport because he got so many fights on such a high level. So probably he can also be like one of the like mentors or like the guy who like give you a lot of advices.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he was one of the top ranked fighters in the UFC. Now he's in the bare knuckle. He's on 3-0. Great striker. So he's also one of my top guys. Like the fight team practices, he's always there coaching me, guiding me, pushing me to go harder. So having them as a team, they're both some of the top guys, and I try to do everything I can to mimic their style and the way they train because they do pretty much everything right. So I want to try to be like them with their work ethic and everything like that.
And do you have a fighter from the UFC that is a kind of maybe like motivation, maybe inspiration, or just you want to take like some moves from this fighter? Do you have a name or few names?
Yeah, in the UFC currently, I'm a big fan of Charles Oliveira. You know, he's one of the top guys, but I'm a big fan of his style. He's a grappler, I'm a grappler. We both like submissions, obviously. And I like his style. He's always putting the pressure. I like his story, you know, how he kind of came up. And his striking, he's always walking you down the ground. He's throwing submissions. I really like his style. And then he just retired, but Demetrius Johnson, I just think he's one of the most well-rounded athletes to ever fight MMA. And I love his explosiveness. So I watch their fights all the time, try to learn from them because they're one of the best.
And actually, DJ right now he has like great podcast, like mighty or something like this. But I love his like knowledge, the like ability to analyze fighters, and I think that he's overall like super funny and cool guy. So
Yeah,
he can be like like true inspiration for fighters.
100%. Yeah, I've been watching his stuff, and yeah, it's great.
And in December, you will have another fight. It will be your sixth fight. So, if you can tell me, do you know anything about your opponent and how your camp is going right now? How many times do you train train a week?
Yeah, my opponent, I think he's really good. He'll be a good test for me. Probably one of my tougher opponents I fought. He's a great striker, obviously, him being the Muay Thai national champ. But I think I'll still be able to go toe to toe on the striking. His grappling's pretty good. He comes from a high level gym. So I think he's gonna be a tough opponent. I think I'll get the job done though. But my fight camp's been going great. You know, I'm training. I get done with school at 3 o'clock. I'm in the gym from 3:15 to 9, pretty much every day, just training, trying to put everything in. I got done with some train sessions in the morning today, but just I'm doing my striking, my grappling, my conditioning, my sparring. I'm trying to do everything right for this fight camp. And I feel like, you know, if I work harder, I'm going to get the win. So I feel like I'm doing everything I can lean into this fight against such a high level guy.
And when your opponent is a very good striker, it's like from the like the first idea would be to take him down, but also it's probably a good chance to feel a little bit his style and try to hit him. But of course, it's like a little bit tricky situation because in the end you want to win this fight.
Right, right. You know, if I can't take him down, we're striking. I'm going to be throwing. I feel like it'll be a good test for me. But I feel like I'm going to have more weapons than him. I feel like my takedowns have been getting so good where if I get him down, I'll be able to get the finish. But yeah, I'll probably try to take him down most likely. But even if on the feet, like I'm ready to go. If the fight could take place anywhere, I think I'll come out on top for sure.
And you said that on a day you train many hours. So how do you recover like day by day to be able to go train next day?
Yeah, I make sure I get my sleep. That's the biggest thing. A lot of people look over that and don't think it's important, but it's definitely a lot of people need to work on that. I try to get as much sleep as I can. In between training sessions, when I'm at the gym, I'm always bringing food. You know, that's one of the biggest things, just being able to eat, recover, get your electrolytes in. But yeah, I'm trying to get sleep. You know, I'll do ice baths just for muscle recovery, all of that stuff. Trying to do everything I can. Pretty much those are the main things. I don't get too tired after my training sessions are worn out, really, just because of that. So I'm lucky that I'm able to, you know, have such good cardio, but it's because I'm doing all the training for sure. So yeah.
Yes, and sleep is, I think that sleep is the thing that many people really don't appreciate. And this is probably the most important thing to not to sleep like 4 or 5 hours, but to be rested. And then
Right.
you can like do a lot of great work, but without it, it will be like really big struggle.
Definitely.
And of course, in MMA, when you train, there are like fighters who are better at something. Sometimes we are better than them in something else. And what, in your case, what sets you apart from other, like your sparring partners or even your opponents?
I would have to say my pressure. I'm always trying to push the pace, you know. I feel like I've got cardio to help back that up. I feel like I've been getting more well-rounded me being a grappler, I feel like I've out-grappled pretty much all of my opponents in all of my fights. Even at the gym, my grappling's pretty up there. So I'd say my pressure combined with my grappling, it works. If you look at Khabib, he had the same exact skill set in that barometer where he is. But also, if we're striking, like I'm ready to go. In my last fight that I won by rear naked choke, like we were on the feet for a little bit, and I was striking with him, and he's more of a striker, but I was still bringing it. Then I took him down, got the finish. So I feel like me being confident everywhere and my pressure is what makes me like different, I'd say.
Yes, and sometimes even like great fighters, when they are pressured, they have a problem to like put their A game to the table. So I think that pressure is like super important thing. And the guys like right now, even Merab Dvalishvili, who's like all the time he's looking for takedowns, or back in the days like Nick Diaz or Nate Diaz, they also like put pressure on their opponents, and it definitely worked.
Yeah, for sure.
And being a fighter, of course, this is like big part of this. It's of course like skills, but also I think that in like 2024, it's important to be like visible on social media, to being a brand a little bit, to like allow people to know yourself. And how do you think? How important do you think is this kind of part, this kind of, let's say, marketing part?
Yeah, I think it's grown a lot. Back when MMA was first coming up, not people really knew about it. But I would say, for me, I try to do as much as I can because that's how I get my sponsorships. Like right now, I have like 4 deals about with trying to get sponsored, and that helps fuel my training camps. And I wouldn't be getting those sponsors without the social media aspect. Obviously, training and being a good fighter comes first because a lot of people they'll post on social media, but they're not actually putting the work in. So if you're putting the work in and then posting, it's definitely, really important as long as you're doing both because, that's how you get opportunities. Like I've gotten so many opportunities just from that. I just have to make sure I'm still putting the work in and not just doing it for likes.
And before your fights, do you feel any like pressure or stress with the like knowledge that you know that you will fight against another guy who's spent time in the gym and and he wants to have a win against you?
Yeah, the nerves, they're always there. The pressure's there always. I don't get too nervous leading up to my fights, but the pressure's there because I'm selling tickets. I have a lot of people coming to watch me. This kid wants to beat me. He's really good, so the pressure's there. But honestly, I use it as motivation, and it helps me train even harder when I think about the pressure. And honestly, the more I train and the closer it gets to the fight, almost the less nervous I get because if I'm doubting myself, the more I train, the less I doubt myself, and I know I'm ready. So if I work hard, like it gets rid of the doubt and nerves. The pressure's there, but it's all motivation at the end of the day for me.
So it's very good because even sometimes even good fighters are like stressed, especially if there is a like big fight, maybe like UFC debut or like a big fight in other organization. The good fighter is not looking great, and it's all about because the like pressure of the situation. So it's very good that you don't have this kind of problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the pressure. It helps me, to be honest. It's not bad pressure. It's motivation right now.
And do you have maybe in your head like technique that you would like to win your fight by? Maybe some kind of submission or kind of knockout?
Yeah. A knockout would be cool because I'm a grappler. I haven't had a knockout, especially if I can prove it against a really good striker. That'd be a great opportunity. But realistically, I think he's super high level. I don't think I'll finish him in the first round, because I don't think he'll make that mistake. But I feel second, third round armbar, rear naked choke. I've been feeling fight camp, so I think, yeah, rear naked choke would be nice, but if I could have one finish, it'd be a knockout. But realistically, I think rear naked choke.
And is it your like favorite position to be in, to be on your opponent's back and go for rear naked?
Yeah, 100%. That's how I won my last fight. It felt great, but I just feel like my back control is strong. Like it's a terrible position to be in, hard to get out of. And I feel like I'm strong there. I have a lot of attacks there. Yeah, that position, I feel like I'm good at getting it. So yeah, for sure.
And it's like let's say the dream scenario, but if you can pick one tool from any fighter in the world, so maybe some like striking technique, maybe some grappling technique, but technique from any fighter in the world, and add to your current skill set, what kind of tool would you like to borrow?
That's a hard choice, but I would have to say I feel my grappling's really good. I would like to add stuff to my striking, so maybe either Conor McGregor's striking, the way his kicks, his spinning kicks, they're always so clean, and his power, or Ilia Toporia's boxing, his knockout power that he has, his head movement, the way he gets people against the cage and finishes them. One of those two would definitely be really cool to have, and I'm working to get that, obviously, but they're really great techniques for sure.
And are you a fan of Conor McGregor, like overall, of course, as the fighter?
Yeah, I like his style. I have a completely different style than him, but he's an entertaining fighter. I wouldn't say he's one of my favorite fighters, but I feel like he does have a lot of skill. But I'd say like fighters I look up to currently would have to be like Ilia Topuria. I really like his style because he's a wrestler slash jiu-jitsu guy who now is a great boxer. So probably Ilia Topuria I would say is the number one fighter I look up to currently. Him and Charles Oliveira. But Conor McGregor, I just like his kicks to be honest. But yeah.
Okay, Andrew. So many thanks for the time and for the conversation. Your fight in December probably will be an interesting one because of the style that your opponent have, but of course it will be good to have this kind of style on your resume.
Yes, for sure.